Happy Halloween! You know, on this channel we talk about some of the best Halloween specials from my generation. Whether it's something obscure, one that everyone knows, or a personal favorite of mine. This year, I want to talk about Halloween specials from a particular studio. And that, of course, is Hanna Barbera. It shouldn't be too surprising that it is this year's theme, seeing how I am the Hanna Barbera / Cartoon Network guy. But I think there are some specials and episodes here that are worth checking out, especially if you're a Hanna Barbera nut like I am. The one qualification is they have to be made by Hanna Barbera prior to the full absorption into Warner Brothers, so any post-WB animation stuff is off limits. So let's dive in. Let's start with one of the last Hanna Barbera shows ever made, Cartoon Network's Cow and Chicken, with their Halloween episode, Halloween with Dead Ghosts Coast to Coast, which strangely aired January 1998. It's about Cow and Chicken going trick-or-treating dressed as humans, a la their parents, after getting the idea of watching the Red Guys talk show, an obvious spoof of Space Ghost Coast to Coast. A hilarious running gag is when they get rejected by every house they go to because the owners confuse them for actual adults and deny them candy. One of them even offers to Duo a job. By the way, nice little reference to Ted Turner. I'd say out of all the early cartoons, Cow and Chicken was a mixed bag, but when it was funny, it was funny. And luckily, this episode delivers on the laughs. From the excellent voice acting from Charlie Adler to even some adult jokes I missed as a kid, like when Cow and Chicken look through their parents' room for costumes.
How'd mom's stuff get in here?
It's a fun time. What about pilots to shows that were never picked up? Like Monsters in My Pocket, The Big Screen, which aired as a Halloween special on ABC in 1992 and based on a toy line. It's about monsters led by the Invisible Man, who are shrunk into size, who need laughter to grow back to normal, and they have to stop the evil monsters who can grow back with screams. The good monsters befriend a teenage girl who helps them, and who's also the daughter of a famous horror writer. Think the classic Universal Monsters meets Pinky Elmira in the Brain, and I mean that as a compliment. It's a very unique special. I like these monsters, they're all very entertaining and have very distinct personalities, my favorite being the Jamaican Wolfman. It's got one hell of a voice cast too. Frank Welker, Rob Paulson, BJ Ward, Marvin Kaplan, and it's written by Glenn Leopold. You can't go wrong with Glenn. It's a shame this didn't go anywhere, because if it was a full series, I would definitely watch it as a kid. Of course, a spooky show like Scooby-Doo is naturally gonna have some Halloween-themed episodes. I had a hard time picking which one to put in this video. The obvious choice was the Headless Horseman of Halloween from the Scooby-Doo Dynamite Hour, and that too was a great episode, but if I had to choose my personal favorite, it would definitely be A Halloween Hassle in Dracula's Castle from the new Scooby-Doo Mysteries. This episode has the gang going to a Halloween party hosted by Dracula and his monster friends, who the gang find out are real. Turns out, the monsters are being haunted by a ghost, and it's up to the gang to solve the mystery. I actually like this idea where in an ironic twist, it's the monsters that need the gang's help catching a ghost. This episode was written by the legendary Paul Dini, who most of you should be familiar with. A reminder, this was a season where it's just Scooby, Shaggy, Daphne, and Scrappy, with Fred and Velma making sporadic appearances. And believe it or not, this was the last time the original adult gang appeared together till Zombie Island. It's got some low points, the primitive digital ink and paint, some laughable animation and audio errors.
To celebrate Halloween with it.
Yeah. Good job, eh, Scooby? You and Shaggy are still the biggest chickens on Earth.
My Uncle Scooby's the bravest.
And it's the episode with the second worst Velma, Marla Frumpkin. But thankfully, she's not as bad as when she started out. Not to mention the villain's reasoning for haunting is pretty lame. So far, its only home media release was on VHS in 1996 by Turner, which is now out of print, and for some reason it's absent in the Halloween DVD compilation 13 Spooky Tales Run for Your Life. But I still recommend it for die-hard Scooby fans.
And now, these messages.
You all know I'm a big Warner Brothers guy. That's why I'm excited to help spread the word of the Warner Brothers Comic Mystery Bag Kickstarter from Dynamite Entertainment. Rare collectible comics with new stories featuring Hanna Barbera and Cartoon Network faves like the Herculoids, Space Ghosts, Johnny Quest, and the Powerpuff Girls, not to mention 80s Saturday morning classics like Thundercats and Silverhawks. Every blind bag has 5 items, an extremely rare limited edition metal or holofoil variant by Rogues Gallery of incredible artists. one of 8 brand new variant covers made just for this campaign, a buyback issue from your favorite series, a Warner Bros. Comic blank sketch cover, and a super rare Supernatural #1 ash can. You can help by backing this campaign by clicking the link in the description. So many talented artists here are helping keep these characters alive, and I would love to help support. Click the link in the description to find out more. And now, on to the rest of the video.
Now back to the Halloween Super Skeleton on the Superstation.
Flintstones didn't have many spooky episodes, the only notable one being A Haunted House Is Not a Home from season 5, and in one of the many revivals from the 70s, new characters would be introduced called the Frankenstones, HB's obvious attempt to capitalize on the Munsters, which were getting a resurgence in syndicated reruns. The one notable Halloween special came in 1979 with The Flintstones Meet Rockula and Frankenstone, where the Flintstones and the Rubble spend a night in Rockula's castle, who unveils his newest creation, Frankenstones, stupid rock puns. And Rockula wants Wilma as his wife and to kill Fred. I really love the atmosphere, especially the look and design of this castle. There's funny jokes, entertaining chase scenes, and sometimes very fluid animation. A fun fact, Frankenstone's character model would later be recycled for Frank Frankenstone in later spin-offs, and he's voiced by Ted Cassidy, better known as Lurch in the original Addams Family. I also think it's kind of funny the way the special ends. Rockula comes back to beg Wilma to be his wife, but Wilma makes a list of demands and chores for him, which finally gets Rockula to leave. Not a perfect special, but much better than the Flintstones' other output in the 70s. But the two I consider the best Hanna Barbera Halloween specials are 2 classic TV specials from the early 90s, The Last Halloween and The Halloween Tree. First, The Last Halloween. Now I admit, unlike The Halloween Tree and everything else on this list, I didn't grow up with this. I never even heard about it until I was much older. I think I saw it mentioned in one of CR's Familiar Faces Halloween videos back in the day. So when I decided to make Hanna Barbera specials the theme of my big Halloween video this year, I knew I had to watch it, and I was pretty excited. And you know what? It didn't disappoint. This is a charming special, I mean it. 4 aliens crash land on Earth in the town of Crystal Falls in search of candy and befriend 2 kids, Michael and Jeannie. Unfortunately, the town's candy factory, owned by their father, is going to close down, and 2 villains, played by Rhea Perlman and the late Richard Mole, experiments in a creepy castle looking for a fountain of youth, stealing water from the lake, which was the main source for the candy factory that's shutting down, and it's up to our heroes to stop them.
Over the last year, the lake water that powers the factory has been drying up. He's doing everything he can to keep it open, but tonight he found out this is going to be the last Halloween. That's
the name of the special. I really enjoyed discovering this. It's so campy, so fun. It's so much Halloween atmosphere, I love it. It makes me nostalgic for a pastime I never got to experience. On top of that, the characters are pretty great too. The kids are likable. I even love Jeannie's connection to her dead mom and how she learns to move on. And of course, Rhea Perlman and Richard Mole hamming it up as the villains are phenomenal. But then again, when are they not? I like these alien critters, and the CG, while dated, does have a certain charm to it. Fun fact, the CG on the aliens was provided by ILM and the now defunct Pacific Data Images, who in the later half of the decade would create the iconic Homer Cube segment in The Simpsons Treehouse of Horror 6. It would team up with DreamWorks, providing animation for innovative films such as Ants and especially Shrek. And the movie was written and directed by Savage Steve Holland, who's had one interesting career, from making raunchy teen comedies like Better Off Dead to kids fare like Sabrina the Animated Series, Stuck in the Suburbs, Shredder Man Rules, and the live-action Fairly OddParents movies. This is another special I intend watching every year. I say see it, but it's not really available anywhere. It hasn't aired on TV in years, it's not on streaming, and it's not even on home media. Warner Archive, or whoever owns this, seriously needs to consider releasing it, because more people need to see it. Highly recommend. And now we come to the better known of the Halloween specials, 1993's The Halloween Tree, based on a Ray Bradbury story. I remember seeing it on Cartoon Network back in the late 90s. A group of kids go trick-or-treating while going after their friend Pip. They wind up in the creepy mansion of the mysterious Monshroud, voiced by unrecognizable Leonard Nimoy. They find out Pip has turned into a ghost and disappeared and the kids must travel through time with Monstrad to get them back, and learn about the origins of Halloween and their costumes along the way. I love the inventive ways this special teaches kids about the holiday. It doesn't talk down to them either, and it's educational without being boring. It surprisingly doesn't shy away from the darker stuff either. It's got a nice message of not fearing death. Morality is inevitable, and you'll have to face it one day. The sacrifice the kids make to save their friend is genuinely sweet too. And my god, John Denby's score is beautiful. I wish there was a way I could listen to the full thing. God, I love it, I love it, I love it. Also, the animation is gorgeous. The backgrounds, the colors, the imagery is so cool to look at. People get surprised when they find out Hanna Barbera made this special because HB is known for their very limited animation. But keep in mind, this was the 90s, and they were outsourcing their animation to more overseas studios. Plus, they were under Ted Turner now, and more money was put into these productions. Not to mention, Cartoon Network was a year old when the special came out, and they couldn't rely on reruns anymore, so original programming was needed, which Hanna Barbera was responsible for. That's why many others, myself included, consider the 90s Hanna Barbera's Renaissance period. It's interesting too because Bradbury's old buddy, Chuck Jones, was supposed to direct this adaptation years ago. I say the one thing that might grate on your nerves is one of the kids saying "oh my gosh" repeatedly. It gets old really fast. The Halloween tree definitely left a huge impact, from yearly reruns of Cartoon Network and Boomerang, to home video releases, to its Emmy wins for its writing, deservedly so. Even Ray Bradbury praised this special. It's timeless, and deserves to be up there with some of the greats. The Halloween Tree, Hanna-Barbera's best Halloween special. So this will conclude my special Halloween video of 2025. Do you agree with these choices, or did I miss one of your HB Halloween faves? Tell me in the comments. I hope you all have a safe and happy Halloween. I can't wait to kick back, eat some candy and pizza, and watch scary movies like Halloween, Trick or Treat, or Hannah Montana the movie. Ugh. It's Halloween. You know what they say, everyone's entitled to one good scare. Until next time, I'm 47 Cartoon Guy, and I gotta fly. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon for more updates, and like and comment on the video. It helps a great deal in the algorithm. Also, if you like what you saw today and want to support the channel, consider pledging to my Patreon. Yes, I finally got my old one back. For early access, exclusive vids, or requests for your own fantastic legacy of Hanna-Barbera MINISODES review. Hope you all stay tuned because I got more stuff coming your way. I'll catch you later.